These two things are crucial to having a microphone that is connected via an XLR cable. But what if I were to tell you that there's actually something 10 times better? Now, for most of you who don't know much about PC gaming, totally fine, that's why you're probably viewing this video. These guys here are probably what most people on a budget are rocking with. So you have your Scarlett Solo Focusrite, and then you have your Cloud Lifter by either Coda Music Technologies or an actual Cloud Lifter brand. All this does is make sure that the audio is not distorted from the 48 volt amplitude of this guy controlling everything else. Now again, what happens if I were to tell you there's actually something that's better, that's an all-in-one thing, and you can ball on a budget? Obviously, just like any piece of technology, you can buy super expensive things and way more expensive things that are also probably better, but for balling on a budget, this thing right here will probably change the game. This here is the Fifine Gaming Audio Mixer. Or in short terms, it's a cheap XLR. And we are about to review it in this video. So this is the Fifine Ampligame Sc3 gaming audio mixer. And now, as many of you may know, I love when things are just universal. And what I mean by universal, I mean you can use it on a console and PC. So without further ado, let's go ahead and open this up, see what's inside. And as you can see, we have a manual, basically the user's guide to how to use this product. Then we have the actual Fifine gaming audio mixer. It's actually quite small. This is a comparison to my hand, and believe it or not, my hand's slightly bigger than this. At first glance, this XLR is actually really nice. The durability and the weight of it feels like it's something that is reliable. And the back part to install everything isn't very complicated. But what else is in the box is a USB Type-C to USB connection cable, and that is for the power source to turn this thing on. Then you have a 3.5mm head jack cable for you console players. Something that's really nice about this, and the specific detail, is that all these side buttons as well as the white buttons underneath the middle tabs are all with a rubber coating, so they feel super lovely to press. Now, the ones that are in the middle, the little gears or the shifters, they're really nice, hard and durable plastic that also have a nice little middle orange indicator that tells you exactly how much of a level you're at with each specific thing, such as the mic, line in, headphone, and line out. So firstly, just out of the box, this thing is seeming like great quality, honestly. Now, I'd love to put this price on the screen, but this thing has been fluctuating in price non-stop. It's still cheap, or cheaper than a Go XLR, but I got this thing for 50 bucks. On Amazon right now, it says it's $39.99, and at Walmart, it's like 50. So if you're lucky enough to catch it at the lowest price, good for you. Now, some cool things about this, it seems like great quality. This thing also is about the same size as a Go XLR. So you do have the portable capabilities of that. This thing is also RGB. So it's kind of cool. It's not your normal thing of a blue light or just a white light. It's gonna give your setup a little bit of color. So that way, not only does your keyboard, mouse, and PC have color now, it's also this guy here. This is supposed to be an all-in-one. So you don't need a Cloud Lifter, you don't need a Scarlett Solo or any of those kind of things. This is supposed to control absolutely everything. Now, some things that I love about this so far. So I actually thought this was a brightness button, and it's actually to change the RGB setting. You can change the voice on demand, so you could do
male,
female,
robot, monster,
baby,
elder.
So you don't have to get a voice changer and pay a couple dollars each month for it, or just plain simply 100 bucks for something, whatever. I've never had a voice changer, but I think it'd be pretty cool to use that. You have 4 custom presets, so you have custom A, custom B, custom C, custom D. Then over here on the left side, you have a 48 volt, which this helps the tone of the audio coming through. And then your electric, which I'm assuming this is probably gonna end up being a note or a tone that your voice is going to be given out of. Then you have your mute the mic, mute the line in, headphone, mic monitor, and line out, mute. And then these 4 settings, which are the mic, line in, headphone, line out. It's pretty cool stuff. So I think what's best is to really just try this out, because reality is that there's not much to go over with this. But just real quick, I guess we could say, on the very back, you have your USB Type-C connection, which is going to be the power source, your line out if you're using 3.5mm head jack, as well as the headphone and line in, and then headset. Then you have a little mic setting here that's dynamic or condenser. More than likely, you're probably going to want a condenser because that's just going to make your audio sound the best. Sometimes if you have a dynamic microphone, which is pretty much this guy, you might want to just use that and try it out. And then you have your XLR insert cable. So I think without further ado, let's turn this guy on and see how it performs. I think reality is it's like maybe 60 to 70% sure that you're gonna be able to hear this versus the Focusrite. Now we're not gonna compare the two. This is literally just a review of this for 50 bucks because those things cost me well over $250 to $300. A brand new Scarlett Focusrite is about 110, 115. The Cloud Lifter alone is another 70. You have to understand that when you're balling on a budget, you know, there's different qualities to each one. So for me to compare a $50 thing versus something like that, it's gonna be kind of like comparing a $100,000 house to a $1 million house. It's not gonna be like even fair. But what I will do is safely give a biased opinion on whether or not this is even worth it. So I do have actually a USB Type-C to USB connection already from the Focusrite, so I'm actually just going to use that with this guy and plug them in and then see the difference. So USB Type-C, this thing's going to glow in RGB in a second here. Sick. Oh, that's, I like that. That is pretty cool. In my personal opinion, the best reviews are when we actually use the products and then figure out whether or not A, if they're good, or B, if they're bad. Well, it's been a couple hours, and in a couple hours I mean probably about 12 to 13 hours of using this guy. One, this thing's actually super cool. If you can see this thing kind of lighting up, well, here, I'm gonna basically talk into the mic and then you can see that it's moving. Pretty cool. So the cool thing is not only that, but when you're also watching something, this volume will show you the level that you're hearing it at, and then you can manually adjust it. This guy here is the coolest. So you don't have to go directly into your computer. You can just simply hit this button. You can hear yourself and then manually go to your liking. This is literally the reason why XLRs are just so cool, because with the other two, like the Scarlett Solo and then the Cloud Lifter, that's not gonna happen. It doesn't have that capability of manually switching all those different things. Like, it does have certain buttons and certain gain abilities, but all the other stuff you have to do inside the computer, versus this one is accessible right here, right now. So, long story short, if you wanna buy this yourselves, you can go to finefinemicrophone.com or go to Amazon and literally just type in Fifine. It's spelled F-I-F-I-N-E, but it's pronounced Fifine gaming mixer, or you could do like the Fifine XLR. And then at checkout, if you want 15% off, use 15 Fifine Sc3. Again, guys, I'm not going to recommend a product to you if I don't think it's cool. I've always wanted an XLR, and to see the capabilities of one that is $40, $50, it's quite nice. So if you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to hit 10,000 subscribers this year. I know it's possible. I really do. But other than that, thank y'all for watching. I'll see you soon.